So Saturday, and this is another check that you do on the weekend. This is the EP level on the ground floor on the west side, where all the mechanical rooms are with the fuses and the breakers and that in it. And I'll take you through that. Right now, this level is empty because they're working in the major construction area on the garage door. But there's still the mechanical rooms. You just go around the corner and up to the right. And to the right again. And right by 30, past 30 left, or west, past 30 west, stair C level EP. Pass there a little bit and you'll see MCC number 1. This is mostly the fan room, and some pumps operate from this room as well, off of major disconnects. You use your service master, which is a key that will get you in most of the service doors. The light is to the right. Here. Now, here's all your disconnects, circuit breakers. You've got swimming pool, whirlpool heater, change room hot water tank, front hall cabinet heaters, swimming pool filter pump, whirlpool hydro air pump, swimming pool change room ventilation unit, lobby air conditioning, exercise room air conditioning, party room air conditioning, west below grade storage heating coil, east below grade heating coil, and swimming pool heating coil. And here are the exhaust fans for the underground parking, P1 east parking, entrance level west parking exhaust fan, entrance level east parking exhaust fan, recreation or west parking exhaust fan. Somebody scratched out the recreational level. Down below, east parking exhaust fan. We obviously made a mistake, it shouldn't be recreational level. West storage locker supply, east storage locker supply fan, electrical room exhaust, electrical room supply fan, electrical room exhaust fan, whirlpool filter pump. And the last panel would be west parking supply fan, east parking supply fan, P1 west level west parking supply fan, P1 east parking supply fan, entrance level west parking supply fan, entrance level east parking supply fan, entrance level north parking supply fan, recreational level west parking supply fan, recreational level east parking supply fan. Over here is west parking, or P2 west parking exhaust fan, P2 east parking exhaust fan, and P1 west parking exhaust fan. Now, for the most part, these exhaust fans should be in the auto. You'll see that they're in auto. They're all in the auto position. And if there's ever an issue with the supply fan, the first thing you would try and do is do a reset by pressing this button here. If the button is stiff and it doesn't go in, then there's a problem with the fuses in there, and you need to call Brian from Honeywell. At times you may need to put the exhaust fans on hand, which means right now they're on auto, and under certain conditions, when the exhaust carbon dioxide is too much in the underground parking, then they'll come on. But there might be times like when you have a vehicle running down in the underground parking that you may want to turn them on, so you can just put them on hand and just remember afterwards to take them off when you're done. And again, all the fans should be on. Like they are. Okay, so that covers the fans. Over here we've got the boiler for the spa mostly. And if there's no hot water in the spa or the change room areas, then you might have to reset this boiler. And it'll tell you exactly what the temperature is and everything like that. It's a new boiler, so you shouldn't have much problems with it. Okay, well, let's go to the next room. Turn the light off. Just keep on continuing around to the right, and there's some doors on the right hand side here. This is electrical room, but there's not really much in here, so we wouldn't even bother going in there. It's just some storage tanks, that's all in there. You can't even see. There's some storage tanks in there. Old storage tanks that will probably have to be removed at some point. And the second electrical room you come to, this is where a lot of the, if you ever have a problem with power in the building, that you will need to come into to check to make sure that the fuses are working properly. This part here is the new intercom, or the new maglock system that they're putting in the underground. You won't have to deal much with them. If there's an issue with any of the maglocks, you'd have to call Sherlock or somebody that knows this system, or the people that installed it. Okay, right now this room's got a little bit of stuff still in it because they're working in here. They haven't finished the job yet. This is the heating ramp, and when there's snow outside in the wintertime, this has to come down into manual. As soon as you know there's going to be a fair amount of snow, over 2 or 3 centimeters, then you should put it on, because it takes a while for the ramp to heat up. And then you just drop it down into manual. It should be around 2. If you turn any higher, you're liable to blow a fuse, so keep it around that point. And just make sure that as soon as the snow stops, and that this ramp is off, because it costs a lot of money to run this ramp continuously. So you've got some fuse panels in here. You'll notice that there's a couple that are taped off that aren't being used, but for the most part, you've got them and they're all working. Sometimes you can run your finger along to see if they trip. This one right here is a little bit. And you have the diagram here on each one to let you know what they are. You've also got a fuse panel over here in this corner. Again, the same thing. They should all be pointing to the center to make sure they're on. And again, you've got your legend here on the back of the panel. fuses in it. Over here, and you can see that the legend states, it gives you an idea of what swimming pool wall lights, recreational party room lights, exercise room lights. So if there's ever a problem where a circuit or lights don't work, this is a place to come to have a look. And you've got another panel here, same thing. And again, another legend: circulating pumps, compactor, sauna heater, exercise room. And there's some down here that aren't in use anymore, like hair dryers and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go to the next one. That's going to be the fire panel room. It's just to the right. And this is a little bit tricky because it's around the corner. You have to go around the corner for it. And it's right by parking space E16. Right around the corner here. Again, it opens with your service key. And here's the fire panel room with some other fuse panels in them. Now that's some of them open, which they should be closed next time. Or I'll close them when I'm done here. And again, you've got your circuit breakers and your legend here of what they're for. Another one to the right. Close that one up. Another one to the right here. And your legend. Outside lights mostly. And some of the outside lights, they work on a sensor as well as a fuse. So the fuse has to be on for the sensor to work. Right here, this is your right in between the two panels. There's another panel right here. And you go back up here, so there's two panels, and in between them, up here is the timer for your spa. And if you ever have problems with your spa lights or your spa and pool, this is a timer that will fix that. So you might have to set the timings if the time changes, or and just follow the instructions for doing that. Another panel to the right here. And there's a couple of changes that they've made over the years here. This building is almost 30 years old, so they've got some changes that they've made, and they've got the legend here on the right. Now we've got the fire panel. This is this keypad right here. It just basically makes sure that it's sending the signal. It's not really part of it just helps with the communication of the system. So whenever you come into the fire panel, if you hear a beeping sound, it should tell you what the problem is, and then you can acknowledge it to stop the beeping. If you ever have an alarm, the fire department will tell you to come and silence the alarm. So first thing you have to do is acknowledge. You would acknowledge the alarm, or if it's a supervisory trouble, usually a supervisory trouble doesn't send an alarm, and then you press alarm silence, and then system reset. Once the fire department gives you the okay, the system won't reset if you still got an alarm going, but you can give it a try. Sometimes you might have to hold the system reset for a couple of seconds for it to work. You may come to a point where you need to bypass the alarms and the elevators and things like that. You would never touch this manual evacuation because that'll set off an alarm you can't stop. But you may have to do a bypass of the city and the elevators so that they work properly. Over to the right here, in this fire book, there's instructions on how to do that. So basically, you would follow these instructions. You press the menu, then enter. Press F1 and enter. And enter 333 is the number. And then enter. And then the soft keys are these. So you press 1, 2. Let me get this book out of my hand now. So you press 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would bypass if you had an alarm, or let's say you've got a contractor working in here and he's afraid he's going to set off an alarm, then you could do that. And so it doesn't call the fire department. And first you'd have to call the monitoring company, GIT, and let them know that you're going to be to put the system on test as well. And then when you're done, you got to make sure when they're done at the end of the day, you can't leave those things bypassed. You have to take them off, and you basically do it in the same order. Right now it says there's a supervisory and troubles too. You can press the supervisory and it'll tell you which troubles they are. There's a in the sprinkler room where we've got a part on order for one of the valves, so that's one. And there's a loss of pressure switch that they're ordering too, that they're going to be replacing. The trouble says there's a card missing, which is card 38. We know about that. That's going to be repaired. It's actually just a auxiliary panel, so it's not any big deal. And we've also got an earth status trouble, which they're going to be coming in to fix as well soon. So that's kind of the basics of that. And I'll be taking you through it again anyways, and making sure you know what the procedures are. And I don't know how much, if I'll be able to do that right away or how long that's going to take, depending on how much time we have. But eventually it'll get done, and you can possibly remind me to do that at a little bit later date. And the other thing too is you've also got some panels down at the end here, which are often the cause of problems. Right now, the only one that's off is the overhead garage door on the west side, because they're working on it, and the rest of them are on. And again, you've got your legend there. Another smaller panel here with that's got room for more changes here, and the legend here of what they are. You've got some transformers in here too. If you've got ever have any major problems with power, where a whole bunch of units are out, a whole bunch of lights are out, and all your circuit breakers are okay, then you could have to call an electrician, because maybe there was a transformer or fuse that went in the transformer. And there's one over here too as well. So they would you can't touch any of those or do anything with those. The electrician would have to come, and that's kind of an emergency thing when it comes to lights. Okay, well that's it for now with this.